60, The Answer.
With the power of Tandem HR, you are in the fast lane on Main Street with Get Down to Business with Shalom Klein, the show for business and jobs. Now, the champion of networking, the advocate of jobs, the guru of business, your host, Shalom Klein.
We are all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship and business. We talk a lot about business here. You're on with Get Down to Business, and I'm your host, Shalom Klein. Remember, you can always download podcasts from Get Down to Business on my website at shalomklein.com. And while you are there, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Shalom Klein. It's going to be a jam-packed week of content and information you won't want to miss. It's a live show. You can call us at 312-642-5600, 312-642-5600. Get Down to Business is powered by our good friends at Tandem HR, your solution center. You can find them at tandemhr.com or give them a call at 630-928-0510, 630-928-0510. As I mentioned, jam-packed lineup of guests, and in fact, the studio is jam-packed this week. Thrilled to be joined here in studio by Tim Jensen, who's got a very, very interesting business. I'm excited to talk to you a little bit about it. But first of all, Tim, thanks for joining us on Get Down to Business.
Thanks for having me on. Shalom, this is great to be here.
Absolutely. So Grunt Style, tell me a little bit about the name. Let's start with that. Grunt Style, is that a name you came up with while you're in the shower one day? And I'm looking at your hat, and you certainly you know how to promote the brand. Tell us a little bit about the idea of the business and the name.
Sure. Well, the name came from the owner, Dan Alaric. He was a former drill sergeant in the Army, and he wanted to continue on the pride that came along with being a soldier in the Army into the civilian world. So he came up with the idea of Grunt Style. You know, why not? Sounded great, and it really started taking off. And in 2009, that's when the company really had taken off. And right now, we are in Carroll Stream. We are an online apparel business and enjoying a massive growth with about 177 employees now.
That's fantastic. And your website, which obviously we'll share with our listeners, give them an opportunity to see the apparel and the information. It's very impressive. So congrats on the fantastic business growth. So I know you mentioned the growth, and you mentioned the owner. You're based in Carroll Stream, which is so cool to watch that local talent and that growth. Tell us a little bit about how the business is organized. Tell us a little bit about the idea of the business and how that growth has come about and why there's such fantastic interest in Grunt Style.
Sure, absolutely. Well, the company's organized much like a military forward deployed operation. We're broke up into a first platoon, a second platoon, and a headquarters unit, all each respective of with their own personal duties that they follow out. It's really fascinating. It's one of the things that we've enjoyed is as new people come in, they really understand the structure of it, being that most of our staff is prior military. And you know, we do enjoy a lot of civilians that come in. We like to call them patriots in our business, and they bring a lot of talent to the game. And it's just really extraordinary. The growth that we've been able to get out of the company moving forward has just been unmatched. It's really hard to manage at times because it's just growing so fast, but it's just really exciting, and we have a great team that really puts this together. So, you know, what our product brings is a little bit of pride itself, pride military, and pride in country. And it's a great product that really exemplifies what America and the foundations of its principles of just American grit and individualism. That's really what we focus on and the product we bring.
And here on Get Down to Business, we love to talk with entrepreneurs making a difference, and certainly this is a small business success story. And I'm fascinated by the culture that has been created at Grunt Style. You're talking a little bit about the environment and how the company is organized. How important has the leadership team at Grunt Style found that culture and that environment? You mentioned sort of structured like military, and you mentioned the what you're calling folks that are coming in, civilians that are coming into the company. It sounds like that's a very conscious, well thought out effort. How was that established, and how important has it been in the recent growth of the company?
It's really important because if you don't have organization in a rapidly growing environment, right, you have complete chaos. And what we've been able to understand is that with the structure that we provide and the culture that we're trying to establish, it really brings that chaos back into a sense of organization. Really having a lot of people that just focus on the mission in front of them, And being that the majority of our staff is military, it's the understanding of task and purpose, right? Issuing a task with the purpose and getting the mission accomplished. And that's really been the success behind Grunt Style is just a great team that gets together and understands the mission and works very hard to bring that vision to something tangible.
But Tim, you seem to be having fun in the throughout the experience as well. One of your taglines is that Grunt Style is a highly motivated group of veterans and patriots who love three things: PT, freedom, and bacon, not in that order. That's fun. And
Yeah.
it sounds like it's not just military and order, but you actually have a good time growing the company. Tell us about some of the other initiatives that are in the pipeline right now at Grunt Style that our listeners can look forward to.
Well, as we continue to grow, we continue to expand, and new ideas are coming to the pipe, and we're really excited about some of these things moving forward. We're really putting a lot of focus on our events, which we're starting to bring across the country.
Let's talk about Dallas.
Oh, yeah, the Dallas. So, with the tragedy that happened in Dallas not too long ago, the Fraternal Order of Police had reached out to us, and we started a project with them. And what we ended up doing is contributing half of the profit of all of the products sold, which was well over 20,000 units, to the Fraternal Order of Police. And that donation looked about $204,000 that was given to the families of the fallen. And we just recently had one of the officers' parents up here at Grunt Style this past Friday, and really just showing them the respect that we have towards the law enforcement community.
Well, thank you, and congrats on that. It's fantastic what you're doing. Once again, we're chatting with Tim Jensen of Grunt Style. Fantastic company, growing rapidly, Carol Stream, and a lot of great information on the website, which we'll share very, very shortly. But one of the things that you keep mentioning, you keep alluding to, is obviously your commitment to, call it patriotism, call it love of this country, and you're talking about the military culture and the fun culture that's been created, but also veterans. And you've mentioned that term now, I think 3 or 4 times. Tell us a little bit about how veterans are involved in this concept of building the business. How when you're hiring and as you're growing, what are you thinking in terms of hiring, and how are you encouraging other businesses to sort of follow that model as well?
Sure. So what we have really come to do is, or even understand, is that there's a lot of individuals out there that have a great bit of background in education, and that goes as well into the military community. And the veterans, really work well under that understanding of task and purpose. And we've been able to really organize ourselves in a way that we can, work that idea into a business atmosphere and really making it successful. And I think that it not only provides great business, but also provides a bit of healing for a lot of individuals that are struggling to reacclimate to the civilian environment or the civilian world, as we would say. And it's really fascinating. And I've been one of those individuals that, this has not only been a passion of myself for the last 4 years, or going on 4 years, but a passion of really healing myself in the struggles that I've really been going through since I've returned from Iraq. So it's something special, and I think that's what really makes Grunt Style what it is, and the attraction for everybody. And it's just one of those things that if I was to put my finger on it, I probably couldn't name it, because it's many, many different things that makes this company so great. Well,
Tim, thank you for your service, and thank you to your colleagues for their service and for bringing this, as your website says, patriotic apparel, love of freedom and whiskey. Hey, all good things. We love it. Final question, as we're quickly running out of time. What is the one tip that you have for fellow small business owners, big and small, that you think they should know as they are growing a company? What is the one tip that you've discovered along the way that sort of you wish you knew a little bit sooner?
I would have to say it's a chance and opportunity, right? Because opportunity will always show itself. But if you don't take that chance to really peek your head in that door and see what's going on, you're gonna miss it. And you have to take that opportunity. And there's always going to be risk involved in all those things. But if you don't take that chance, what are you in for? And
that certainly led some fantastic growth for Grunt Style. You provided a great bit of information. There's some great products, great information on the company on your website. But with that in mind, Tim, how can our listeners find you online? How can they learn more about your mission and culture?
Well, I would ask everybody to check us out at gruntstyle.com. and be a part of our growth, be a part of the experience of changing America. And that's what Grunt Style is trying to do with one product at a time.
That's fantastic. Gruntstyle.com. Check it out. And Tim Jensen, thank you so much for sharing the story. I'd love to follow your growth. And it certainly sounds like you're being not only growing quickly, but also being responsive to the times and current events in our country, and certainly being supportive. You mentioned the Fraternal Order of Police, which is fantastic. So again, thank you for your service, and thank you for your contributions to our country. We appreciate it. Coming up on Get Down to Business, we're going to talk quite a bit more about small business and how small businesses are growing. In fact, money, believe it or not, money is important to the growth of small businesses. As always, you can get on my website, shalomklein.com, where you can download podcasts from our interview with Tim Jensen of Grunt Style, as well as find out a sneak peek of who's going to be on next week on the show, all about small business jobs and entrepreneurship. We're powered by Tandem HR. Check them out, tandemhr.com. We'll be back with you after this quick break.